Q&A, you can talk? It's all yours. All yours, yes. So Stacy, you might want to set up what this panel is about.
Well, hello everybody. How are you doing out there? Everybody awake? Kinda, sorta? Well, hey, what's up? So today I'm here with my dear friend Robert Moran, LA, at Robert Moran, LA on Twitter. And we're here to talk today about how social media is impacting those with autism. I can barely see anyone out in the audience due to the lights. How many of you out here either know somebody, have something personal in your life, any sort of contact with autism whatsoever? By show of hands? Okay, so there's a lot of you.
Well, technically, you should all be raising your hands right now because you're all listening to me speak and are getting the chance to meet me, so you should all be raising your hands.
There you go. After today, you all are in there. So basically, today Robert and I wanted to talk about some of the ways that social media has impacted those with autism, because there are some differences compared to those of us that may not be diagnosed. So to start off with, Robert, thanks for coming out. Do you want to give everyone a little bit of a background on what you're doing with your life right now and kind of what your background is?
I'm actually a journalism student from Cal State Fullerton. I've been doing a couple... Okay, yeah. I have done two internships with the Fox News Channel, and I'm doing my second internship with KABC right now. I'm doing with their online news department.
Okay, so you're pretty involved with the media side, but more the traditional end of it, right?
Yeah.
So transitioning to new media in the social media realm, how was that transition for you?
It has been kind of an adventure. Okay. Most of it is because I actually started Facebooking and Twittering mostly because I was just trying to meet people. Because I remember I heard Jeff mentioned earlier that he started his ham radio operation because he was kind of lonely, and I was that's the reason why I started doing my Facebook, because I just wanted to meet people, and because I didn't really know a lot of people, and so I just started just following and connecting with people and getting to know people, and so far I've had a pretty good experience.
Good. So before social media, how would you meet others that were also autistic?
I didn't really know anyone that was autistic. Until I started using social media, I was kind of, there's a phrase in like the autism community, which even that idea of being an autistic, being part of a community is still kind of, strange to me, because for the longest time I felt like I was the only one, because the saying in the community is that, that autism is kind of a world, so we live in our own small little universes, and we don't really and I was kind of isolated, I guess, from a lot of other people until I started going on social media, and then I was able to interact with other people who either were parents of of children who had autism or were autistic themselves.
So basically, the small world that you felt like you were in suddenly became larger, and you realized, wow, I'm really not alone. There is a lot of people out there going through the same thing that I'm going through.
Yeah.
So would you say that as far as the kind of interactions that you have when you're in person versus when you're online, which do you feel more comfortable with?
I still feel more comfortable with the online interactions.
Why is that?
Well, it's because I found that I always refer to the Twitter as being the great equalizer. So basically, everyone's on the same level, and what you see is what you get. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's no way to kind of just hide who you are. And for me, because of being autistic, I have a very kind of black or white, very right or wrong, very kind of
that's just the way that you filter, correct?
Yeah.
Right.
It was much more comfortable for me to interact that way, because I could actually express myself without actually without actually having to see kind of the reaction that people would get.
Okay. So would you say that, there's times when maybe you're reacting or responding to somebody online, and does everybody understand what you mean when you respond, or do you ever have anyone misunderstand your intentions?
Oh, most definitely. Particularly because with autistics, many of us struggle with the with understanding sarcasm. Mm-hmm. That is still something that even today I still kind of have to, I still kind of grapple with.
Yet he's my friend, go figure.
Well, it took me a while to figure out that you were pretty sarcastic.
Yeah, it's true, it's true. So would you say that, actually I think for anybody, trying to decode sarcasm and humor online can be sometimes challenging. You may think somebody's kidding when they were dead serious, or vice versa. So how do you handle that when you come across a situation when you're not sure?
Well, until 2 weeks ago, I was just kind of like, why are you saying this to me? What are you doing? What do you like, and like, there would be fights on Twitter, because, and then maybe a couple, and I would be blocked. I actually got blocked by people because they didn't quite understand that I was kind of like, I don't understand what you're saying. So you translate what you're saying literally instead of, in the figurative sense.
So sometimes people would misunderstand why you were getting upset and then block you as a result of it?
Yeah, and through Twitter, someone actually said, maybe you should ask them, are you making a joke or something to that effect?
Ask for clarification.
Yeah.
And have people responded positively to that?
Yeah, actually, because I've actually had the chance to interact with people from other countries and stuff, and they have they've described themselves as being very sarcastic, and they're part of their culture, and so it's kind of like, oh, okay, you're being sarcastic. Okay, I get it now.
Right. So if you could have a chance to look out in the audience and explain to people what how to overcome, like if somebody's following you on Twitter and they see that you say something that's maybe rather blunt, what would you say to the audience as to why you do this and
Well, the description that I would give is that people with autism, we suffer what's called from mind blindness. So it's basically we're not able to perceive how you're going to react to things that we say. We struggle with understanding your body language and even just knowing when something is kind of inappropriate. So we tend to be very almost bluntly honest, even sometimes cruelly and brutally honest. So we're in other words, we're just very direct.
So basically, if you're talking with another autistic person online and it comes across as maybe, wow, are they being rude to me? Before you jump to that conclusion, maybe stop and ask them, much like you would turn around and ask, hey, can you clarify? Are you upset by what I'm saying? Or, did I say something that offended you? I think sometimes just not having an understanding of what is being communicated causes the confusion. So I think maybe having an opportunity to understand and create a level of tolerance is a great way to build bridges and to strengthen our community, because let's face it, we're all very different, and regardless of if we have any sort of a condition or handicap, we all have our special way of communicating. And I think that's one of the great things about Twitter and social media in general, is kind of finding a way to bridge those gaps and bring everybody together. So I think that's fantastic that you've actually taken the step to reach out and take the time to get to know people, where it's probably stepping outside of a comfort zone for you.
Oh, just stepping outside my door most days is stepping outside of a comfort zone.
I think some of us can relate to that for sure. So Robert, how would you say that social media as a whole has impacted you positively as an autistic young adult?
I would say it has helped me kind of get out of my small little world, because I've been able to interact with people from various different backgrounds, different parts of the country, different languages, even from different other countries. So it's kind of made my small world like that much bigger, and it's kind of made me more aware. Not only that there are other people that are not different. Basically, it's made me more aware of other people's differences, and particularly, it's also made me aware of that there are other people that have autism. And so ever since I've joined Twitter and started twittering, and started talking to other people that are autistic, I've become more, I guess, part of a community, which is so.
It's been positive for you. So it looks like we're running down on time, is that correct? So in closing, Robert, what would you say out there to everybody as far as if you have a son or a daughter who's autistic, or if you are autistic yourself, would you recommend going out there and setting up an account and getting involved in social media?
Yeah, actually, I would. I would suggest, I would suggest getting a Twitter account, but stay away from Facebook, because Facebook can be pretty dangerous for people with autistics, and there's a lot of different reasons why. Because sometimes people will put status updates and stuff, and they're like personal related, and being mind blindness, socially retarded will be coming, hey, what are you doing that for? And then they'll just go they'll get mad at it. So, just stay away from Facebook.
It sounds like another panel that we can dive in deeper. Well, thank you so much, Robert, for coming out to share, and thank you all of you for listening and opening your hearts and minds, and thanks, Jeff, for having us out here.